Ryan, a very active scene and one that we just got moved from. We were up at the mall and we heard what sounded like shots being fired just a short time ago. So we were told to move down here, which is a command post. You can see the ambulances that are down here, EMS crews that are down here. This is at American Freight, what used to be the old Toys R Us. The mall is just up the hill from here. And that is where there are several police departments, different agencies from the city, Franklin Park, Ross, Westview, all over this area are up here. And the SWAT team right now. You can see in this video just how active this investigation is right now. I did speak with shoppers and I also spoke with employees at the mall who told me they were told that shots had been fired inside of the mall. What we have been able to confirm from Allegheny County 911 officials is that police were called to the mall at around 4:30 this afternoon. They said there were no reported injuries and 2 people were detained. We know numerous police units are working the incident at the mall. EMS and fire departments are also on scene in support of the incident. The lead agency right now is Ross Township Police Department, but like I mentioned, several agencies are out here on the scene right now, and they have been out here for the past hour and a half or even longer. Like I mentioned, I did talk with employees, 2 employees who work at Gap, who described what it was like when they were in the mall when all this happened. Take a listen to what they told me here.
My coworker Anna, she said something over the walkie. I went over to see if everything was okay because we were hearing there was some activity out in the mall, and then we heard there was a shooter. So I had to run back over to the kids' side and shut the doors. We grabbed all of our employees and we all barricaded in the back. And then the SWAT team showed up and let us go.
You hear about it all the time, and you still think, like, oh, it can always happen. It's always a possibility, but it still kind of felt like surreal that it could happen at this place and while we're here. So it was just really scary.
And that's what another woman had told me earlier when she was a shopper here at the mall. She was in the store when all of this happened, and she said employees grabbed her and took her into their break room while all this was going on, and SWAT and police went through the mall and were evacuating those customers and were evacuating employees. But again, still a very, very active investigation out here at the mall at this time. We have been moved to this staging area at American Freight where police are, where EMS are, and up at the mall right now still several agencies. And like I mentioned, just at around 6 o'clock this evening, it's what we heard, what sounded like shots being fired in that area. And shortly thereafter is when fire officials came up to us, said it was not a safe area and we needed to come down here. So again, at this police staging area, you can see officers have been coming and going. That K-9 officer leaving here right now. Again, a very active investigation. We're going to work to learn more about what led up to those shots being fired at the mall. And as soon as we get an update from investigators out here on the scene, we'll of course let you know. For now, they're reporting live in Ross Township, Caitlin Sykes, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.
Okay, Caitlin, thank you for all of those details and for setting the scene for us and for that perspective. As you saw there, things still very much active and still unfolding. Also, Pittsburgh's Action News 4 anchor Kelly Sasso was actually at Ross Park Mall while all of this was taking place, and she joins us now live on the phone. Kelly, if you can describe for us what you saw and heard from your vantage point and perspective.
Sure, Ryan. It would be my best guess that we were probably about 2 to 4 minutes having exited the mall based on the time frame that we're getting. And so if any of you have been to Ross Park, then you know there's sort of like a long, windy driveway that leads up to the mall. We were waiting in that traffic when we saw the first cop cars come up. You don't think too much of it until we started to see, as Caitlin mentioned, all of the different departments, City of Pittsburgh, lights, sirens flashing. We had motorcycle officers, ambulance, fire trucks. So obviously I called into the station, and I was with my husband, and we turned around. We tried to get back up to the mall to get a better vantage point. At that point, officers had closed it off. So we pulled over at the Oriental Market nearby, which is where we were able to get you guys some of that video of cops directing traffic away from the mall at that main intersection. But it's really hard to even overstate how busy it was. First thing we remarked when we pulled in was that it looked like Black Friday shopping. This is a huge shopping weekend. I've also been getting video from some viewers who had family members inside. They had police escorts out of the mall. So a huge presence of police officers, and then you picture thousands of people flooding onto McKnight Road, and there's really only a few exits there. really a logistical challenge. It is gridlocked on McKnight Road. It was when we were there about 30 minutes ago, both directions.
Okay, Kelly Sasso, thank you very much for your perspective and for keeping us up to date from what you saw and heard. And we, of course, will do the same. Caitlin Sykes on scene. We will bring you updates throughout the evening, both here on air and online on WTAE.com.